Hello, I am Stevin Cantu from Harmony Schools of Advancement, and today I am going over my salt battery project. Now, before we get started, I'm going over the social studies connection. With this, the invention of the battery was created by Alessandro Volta in the 1800s. The old batteries were not all that useful, though they did conduct very small electricity, and they were used for very small lights. The ingredients for this was usually zinc, copper, silver, and of course, salt. Though these batteries weren't all that useful, they did indeed create a huge influence, as now our batteries are much more useful and they're used for other devices too. Now that we're done with the science component, I am now going over the ELA component. We're doing this in order. So, now to read journal entry 1. With the salt batteries in play, I gathered materials from around the house and started to set up the experiment. After setting up the experiment with the glass bottles, aka or short bottles, I use the voltmeter and plug it up to each one to see how much electricity it would conduct. After setting up the voltmeter, I simply messed around with it until I can get the right kind of volt. Now, I took about 5 minutes out of my time to mess around with this, but I did conclude that the highest a voltmeter could conduct from the salt was 0.7 volts. It wasn't that high, but it did create lots of progress for using the salt battery. Now for the procedure. To start the experiment, you must gather all the materials, and preferably a place on a table or any other type of flat surface. After doing this, bring out the small jar, bottle, and pour water in it. Once it's done, pour the salt into the water. Make sure to measure the salt too, of course for data, and prepare for the next step. This step gets a nail. Make sure that, you don't stab yourself, and copper-coated wire. Dip the nail into the salted wire and add the copper-coated wire on the outsides. Use the alligator clips and attach the voltmeter to it. Now, you should be able to do all this pretty fast, as it took me only about 5 minutes to set up. Last but not least is scientific principle. The science/math in this experiment is based upon the voltmeters that you receive at the end of the experiment. Usually you can also use a measuring spoon to increase this and to see how much electricity that salt can conduct. Now for the materials used in this, I used water, a small glass jar, salt, measuring spoons, a nail, some tape, copper-coated wire, 2 insulated wires with alligator clips on both ends, a voltmeter, and graph paper, though this can be optional. This is just meant for recording data. Thanks for watching Harmony Schools, and I am out.